What happened on episode 14 of Magic Academy's Call of the Netherdeep campaign? Well, let's find out. Our party awoke the next day for some much-needed coffee, and Naday had a brief meeting with Ao before joining the party to plan their strategy to steal the red elephant from the Crystal Chateau, their new job that they received. The group wondered if it would be best to find the allegiance of the All-Sight robes to hide in, so they returned to the First Eclipse, where they met with Master Eridrine, a high-ranking official of the Meridian Dream who also has Ruidium corruption on their arm. Eridrine advised that the group go ahead and speak to Jor Rashid, the gatekeeper, as it seems likely that the information can perhaps be bought with gold, or perhaps with flirting. The party decides to first try the latter. Peter turns invisible and Marcella turned into a chameleon, both choosing to infiltrate the Crystal Chateau. Peter and Marcella both overheard conversations about something guarding a cave down in the pit where the rhodium is being gathered, and Marcella, ducking under the door, managed to hear that they were suggesting Ao and the rivals to take on the mission for fighting this ruidium-covered guardian. Marcella also saw the chest plate covered in ruidium crystals before running out to join Peter, who was almost spotted trying to hide Marcella in their scarf while invisible. In the meantime, Damros decided to flirt with Jor for information. With help from a very enthusiastic wing person named Naday, Damros talked to Jor about their love for books, prompting Jor to ask if they would like to join the Allegiance before Damros broached the subject of the elephant. Jor revealed that the red elephant is in the Emerald Ibis Relic Hall, but is likely not to be on display. Damros said he hopes to see Jor again before meeting up with the group, and they all head directly to the Relic Hall. However, on the way to the Relic Hall, Naday and Peter were too busy teasing Damros, and Damros too busy being teased, to notice something that Marcella only sees. Two assassins jump down to claim the red elephant as theirs. Marcella the only one who wasn't surprised, saw the symbol of the Hand of Ore on their armor, and as the assassins attack Peter and Damros are hurt quite badly with poison. Marcella turned into a giant tree to fight back. Naday stood by in shock while the other three attacked, and Damros was downed in the fight, being brought back to stability by Marcella. However, the guard appears to arrest everyone involved in the skirmish, prompting the assassins to tell the Book Brigade to run. The group did so, though they landed few parting shots before Marcella transformed into a giant gross eagle to intimidate the guards with a natural 20. And carried Damros with her while Peter caught up to the running Naday and flustered the latter, slung over his shoulder to carry the rest of the way. The group reunited at the First Eclipse to regroup and decided to attempt to make their theft of the red elephant from the hall sooner than later. Naday disguised herself as a blonde elf, and the four set off and entered the hall, which had no one there except the bespectacled curator. Naday, taking on a new voice, asked the curator about the red elephant, and with a high enough deception, convinced the curator that there was just curious tourists. The curator mentioned the red elephant was being kept downstairs, and then they ventured upstairs, being a little bit more suspicious. After a troubling accent attempt from Peter, the group began to investigate the hall, seeing no clear entrance to the downstairs. Marcella then finds the outline of the stone door with the four symbols of schools on them, of magic: transmutation, abjuration, evocation, and divination. Each member of the party casts a spell appropriate to the school into the door's respective symbols, making the symbols glow and open the stone door. Once in, they find a few other items, but Damros immediately spots the elephant, which the group wraps in Marcella's cloak. Seeing that there's no other way out, they slid open the door, and Marcella made a distraction with a wind spell as the party ran, thankfully not using Thunderclap because that would have triggered... the door was triggered by a thunderclap spell, so had they used it, it would have been bad. The red elephant was tamed, and the session was ended with our party running through the streets. That's what happened on episode 14. We hope you enjoyed, and if you want to catch us live, we are live every Tuesday over on Twitch and YouTube. Hope to see you next Tuesday.